Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of Global Event. And today we'll be discussing on innovations and opportunities in solar energy. And in today's world, the to harvest energy, we are very much dependent on fossil fuel burning, and which is becoming a global threat day by day. So everybody is finding for a new source of renewable energy. And when we are talking about the renewable energy, the solar energy is the most common and well-known term to us. So we'll be discussing on this today. And before start our discussion, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Dr. Anirban Mukherjee, your host. I'm the Chief Project Executive of National Digital Library of India. And this global event is being broadcasted by National Digital Library of India in association with Wheels Global Foundation India. So before jumping into this topic, I would like to just give a brief about NDLI. And before this event also, I have already told all our audience, and again I am telling that National Digital Library of India has launched its upgraded version, that is NDLI 3.0. And here you can have a look how it is looking right now. And apart from the look, there are a lot of changes that has been introduced in this major upgrade. And there you will get a lot of new functionalities, better search engine search results, segmented content for better search result, and many of the new features that you can enjoy. So please visit National Digital Library of India and to get all your readables in your daily life. So National Digital Library of India was started as a national knowledge asset uh, by the Ministry of Education, and it is developed by IIT Kharagpur, and it is also maintained by IIT Kharagpur. And this was initially started as the pilot project in 2015, and after that it was nationally launched in 19th June 2018. So this is a single window platform to meet all your reading needs. And right now, NDLI is having nearly 11 crore of content, and out of which 8.5 crore of contents are completely free and openly accessible. Uh, Apart from that, NDLI integrates multilingual contents. We are right now hosting nearly 423 languages, content in 423 languages, and out of which 39 languages, major language, 39 languages from India. So NDLI is offering the search facility in 12 major Indian languages. That is NDLI 3.0 is giving these facilities right now, and it is completely open source and open, also maintained by the open source software and metadata. NDLI promote engagements with the users in terms of NDLI Club, as well as it provides service of institutional digital repositories to the educational institution. Right now, we are having more than 5,800 clubs and 150 plus ideas associated with this NDLI. And NDLI Club is very much well known to the educational institution, and a lot of members are here also from the NDLI Club. And as you know, NDLI Club is a platform that helps the institution to handhold with the NEP 2020 and fulfill its mandate, as well as to nurture the students' core competence and sharpen their skills. So I don't want to go any more deep into the this NDLI brief, because you are already very much, it is very much known to all of you. So right now, let me welcome uh, our moderator, who is from our partner organization, Wheels Global Foundation, Ms. Suyata Roy. Ms. Roy, uh, let me introduce her. Ms. Roy is MSc in Physics from IIT Kharagpur. She is an alumnus of ISI Kolkata also. He did his postgraduate in computer science from there, and CQA from Quality Assurance Institution, USA. And she spent most of her career in corporate IT sectors, working with various prestigious companies. And finally, she retired as general manager from IBM. And after retirement, she is being actively involved in various IIT alumni activities and voluntary services. Currently, she is holding the position of president of Wheels Global Foundation India and member of their executive councils too. And she has also served as the chief operating officer in NDLI over the last 8 years. So please let me welcome Ms. Shweta Roy. Welcome, Ms. Roy.
Thank you, Dr. Mukherjee. I feel very privileged to be introducing two eminent speakers for the day, or for even today, who have been spending a lot of their last few years in the solar energy space. I'm sure we are going to have a very enriching time with them over the next 1 hour or so, and go back with a lot of new learnings. We have Mr. Ranjan Ghosh as one of our speakers. In fact, my acquaintance with him goes back over several years now, as an IIT alumnus. Mr. Ghosh holds a BTech degree in electrical engineering from IIT Kharagpur and a general management certificate from XLRI Jamshedpur. He has a solid educational foundation complemented by a number of courses in leadership, business excellence, finance, and quality. Anjan is a seasoned professional with extensive experience in the renewable energy sector and various other industries. His career spans over a long 30 years, during which he has held leadership roles in companies such as Suncraft Energy, Tata International, Tata Power, Tata BP Solar, Voltas Limited, and so on. Mr. Ghosh has successfully led numerous projects, and his all this including solar electrification of over 500 villages across India, Nepal, and Bangladesh, solar powered computer education centers in Sri Lanka, and the design and EPC of more than 500 megawatt of utility scale ground mounted solar power projects. Welcome to our session, Mr. Ranjan Ghosh. Going to our next speaker, Mr. Robin Roy. Robin, once again, I know Robin for several years now as a specialist in solar energy. He holds a BTech degree in mechanical engineering from IIT Kharagpur. And then he did his MBA and then worked as a scholar in entrepreneurship at Vinod Gupta School of Management, IIT Kharagpur. Robin is a seasoned professional in the renewable energy sector with extensive experience as a director and founder of several companies, including Suncraft Energy, Reclair Energy, Sunrail Private Limited, and Sustino Advisory Private Limited. His career spans 11 years in just the solar energy domain itself. So, with a strong background in solar energy, Robin has designed and developed over 10 megawatt P of solar projects from concept to commissioning, implemented more than 100 solar rooftop projects, and evaluated over 350 megawatt peak of solar and wind energy projects. So, welcome to our event, Mr. Robin Roy.
Hi, good evening.
Okay. Before moving forward, here is a message for all the participants. Towards the end of the session, we will have a Q&A where you are most welcome to ask questions to the speakers. So what I would suggest is keep posting your questions in the chat box so that we can pick them up towards the end of the session and respond to them. Okay. So coming back to our main event, the topic for today, as Anirban has already mentioned, is innovations and opportunities in solar energy. Solar power, as we know, is the energy from the sun that can be converted into thermal or electrical energy. Solar energy is the cleanest and most abundant renewable energy source available, and hence the whole world's attention is on it now. Today, let's hear from our learned friends on their perspective in this respect. Let me start with maybe Robin Roy. Robin, you have been working in the solar energy and product development space for many years now. So, can you please elaborate on the activities that you have undertaken and maybe some of the challenges also that you faced in your work?
Thank you, Sujata D. I call you D, so I start with Sujata D. Thank you very much. Yes, I have been into this sector for almost 13 years. Okay, so 2 years, of course, it's now almost 13 years, 11 to 13 years. See, I started in the year of 2011 with a company in solar energy. Uh, and then in 2018, I formed another company called Sustainable Advisory. Then 2020, I opened the product development company called Scholar Lab Foundations. And then in 2020 onwards, these activities are going on. So the mainly in solar energy thing, in Suncraft energy thing, we were stressing on that there is a market for rooftop solar. So when people went to the ground mounted and everything, we stick to rooftop power because it's an entrepreneurial journey for me. The utility project was a matter of intense, the financing thing. But the solar energy, where I could feel that I can add value, that was rooftop solar energy. So we started in rooftop solar energy, and almost now 13 years of journey, and we are almost now 500 plus rooftop implementations. We have railway as a big customer where we have developed solar power projects. We have almost all the PSUs like NTPC, Indian Oil, they are a customer. Big customers like Godrej, big customers like Ambuja in West Bengal. So those are our customers. In Sustino, we do the sustainable actions. Currently we have many people are talking about ESG, what is environmental, social, and governance. So that part actually came from the sustainable action. So that the company is taking actions which is sustainable, not only for the company's profitability but also for the social and also from the governance point. So there I started in that I started in 2018 and 2020 when I understood that the government has launched EDP, which is Entrepreneurial Development Program, that has to be supported by PDP, which is the product development sector. The product development, because that ecosystem is not built in India, then entrepreneurship development will not have that sufficient amount of energy to take it forward. So that was a PDP. This is a Scholar Lab Foundations. Challenges, of course, the big challenges is to getting the right person, and the team is the biggest challenge in India. And of course, the ecosystem will be the next big system. That the ecosystem, whether all the ecosystem are in places or not, and then the probably the next big option will be the policy support, whether the small scale companies like us, the innovator like us, are supported by the policies and on time policies support. It's not that there are not policies, there are many policies, but whether the supports are coming on time. So those are the main challenges I have observed. And yeah, I am into product development, into entrepreneurship, into solar energy for last 11 to 13 years. Faces a lot of challenges, but it's still going on. Thank you.
Thank you. Would you like to show the participants any slides on some of the companies that you have managed?
Yeah,
Okay. Maybe
Yes, the slides are on stage. So Would you like to have any assistance, Mr. Roy, or you
Yeah, I
can?
think the if you can go to the next slide. Okay,
Okay,
Yep.
so
sure.
Yep.
yeah, that was all about the the solar energy. That how is important. It is important because as you can see that even if we use the only a 0.5% of the area of the land, then what is the total demand? Current demand is around 16 terawatt, which is 41 times more than that. Means whatever we are generating from the sun is almost 41 times more than our requirement currently. So sun is enough to meet our energy need, energy demand by many folds. Okay, so if you can go to the next slide. Yeah, I talked about that. In 2011 we opened Suncraft Energy. 2018 we opened the Sustino. Then Scholar Lab is 2020, and in 2024 also is a see that the sustainable actions has to go with the this plantation effort also. So this is a company which is just started, and we are trying to build an analytics on the plantation. Plantation is a very unorganized sector, but there's a huge opportunity to organize it and see that whether the plantations through plantations we can bring back the whatever is required to bring a sustainable. The UN has the set on sustainable development goal. So this plantation will certainly help towards attaining that sustainable development.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, we look forward to seeing the results of all this, especially the plant craft, which really seems very interesting. Let me come to Anjun Ghosh now. Anjun, why do you think the solar energy is now the center of global attraction and is also so important in the Indian market?
Yeah, thank you, Nadi. Basically, solar energy as such has been there since time immemorial, and there has been use of solar since long, long times when people used magnifying glasses to make fire. And we've heard of, Archimedes using some metals, bronze metals, to reflect the solar light and burn wooden ships in the sea. And so therefore solar has come a long way, and it was in the early 20th century actually when these Einstein and Max Planck and Becquerel, all of them, they invented and discovered photoelectric effect and then photovoltaics, and then these photons, which are the subatomic particles in light, which actually falls on some semiconductor surface, and then the photons push out the electrons. And these electrons become electricity, which we can use for several applications, including making it the grid supply. So in this, so there has been the solar, energy technology has developed over quite some period. And initially, when solar energy actually came about as solar cells, as far back as 1954. Bell Laboratories, I think, made the first photovoltaic solar cell, but it had very low efficiency. And then a lot of research was done in technology areas. And today we are having solar cells and solar modules which are more than 20% efficient. And as we know, as Robin said, with so much sun's energy around, and that falls on the earth, even converting a little of that through this photovoltaics is going to serve a great purpose of meeting our electricity needs in the most cleanest and the greenest way possible, which is of vital importance today. Now, actually, if you look at, I think I can go to the slides, that India today is taken great strides in doing solar energy. Actually, India, if you go through the time scale, India in the beginning of 2000, uh, first decade of 2000s, were just about 100 megawatt and 1000 megawatt, and struggling with the lower efficiency, very high cost of silicon cells, because silicon itself was very difficult to extract, and then made you need the purest type of silicon. So therefore, and a very very complex process of getting into ingots and then slicing into wafers, and then treating the wafers technologically with introducing phosphorus, boron into it, and making it a solar cell, by which the electron transfer becomes efficient. And so that started, and we had in between, a great thing happened was Jawaharlal Nehru Solar Mission, which was declared in 2010. And that time, lots of things were actually allowed, FDI 100%, and then a renewable purchase obligation was introduced, where every user and distributor of electricity had to do renewable and had to do solar to obtain their actually eligibility to operate. So therefore, all these things really helped in leapfrogging of the market, solar market in India. And from 2014 onward, we've been leapfrogging in solar, as you can see in this slide, that we have.
uh, I am interrupting once because
Yeah,
actually probably due to some outrage I was got cut off from the system. So
right.
probably you are getting some issues with the slide change. So Mr. Ghosh, you can, I think you can change your slides from your
I can now, no?
system.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah. From your
Okay, fair
But
system
I
you
enough.
can.
cannot.
So, yeah, I got it.
I
I got
cannot.
it. Thank you, sir. Yeah, yeah.
But I
So
cannot.
today,
Dr.
as
Mukherjee, I am not able to.
Mr. Roy, actually, the from particular the system you are using to upload the slide, from there you can change. So if you have uploaded from the Mr. Bose's system, then you can use it for uploading,
Okay, so on behalf
changing the
of me,
slide.
you do the changes. Okay, no problem.
Okay, okay. So please just knock me to change the slides. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, okay. Now, as you can see globally, here the global picture is given, that the total electricity demand actually was, 9,500 gigawatts. That's 9.5 terawatts globally. And out of that, 1.1 terawatt, or 1,100 gigawatts, is the current year's solar energy capacity, which is already 12.42% of the total electricity capacity. And this goes on increasing, and in 2050 becomes 30%, which with close to 5,000 gigawatt or 5 terawatt of energy coming from solar itself. So obviously solar is gradually becoming the center of attraction. This, apart from the JNSM, what has internationally globally helped was that in 2015 this International Solar Alliance was started in Paris, between their President Hollande and our Prime Minister Modi. They signed up this ISA, and today more than 120 countries are signatories to this ISA. So there is this buzz, and there is this tremendous appreciation of solar which has started. And as a result, with the increase in demand, the prices have been drastically falling over the years. The so that's what's taking the solar proportion to 30% in the next few decades. If you see, look at India. In India today, we have gone from, this is in megawatts, of course, 1,100 megawatt in 1415, to today we are doing 12,000 and 15,000 megawatt we have already done. And cumulatively, we have done 85 gigawatt, 85,474 megawatt, 85 gigawatts. And as you would say, last year, that is just the year which has gone by, 23-24, with 15 gigawatts of solar energy coming into the system, it has been crossed 80% of all renewables put together. So therefore, solar is becoming a very, very central force in our response, our answer to the climate change, in our answer to our energy requirements, the demands, and also in terms of being competitive, which is of most important. Below this, you'll find in this slide that this 85 gigawatts of total capacity of solar in India, the ground mount utility scale is, of course, the highest, 66 megawatt. It's followed by the rooftop solar, which has already crossed 12 megawatts. And then today, the hybrid solar projects, which is on-grid, off-grid combined, and off-grid solar projects are also very gradually inching, because these are very small unit sizes. Therefore, the megawatts is not the right measure for that, but they are also sliding up. So as you can see here, the solar tariffs today, utility scale, has beaten the any other form of energy generation, including thermal. And you get about 2.5 to 3 rupees a unit if you can generate in a utility scale. You get a tariff of 4.5 rupees to 5 rupees if you actually put it in rooftop. And government is talking about 10 million, homes, like
Mm-hmm.
PM Surya Ghar and these kinds of schemes have been launched, and these are actually doable. They are very much into websites, and anybody can get there and try to do make a solarization project in his home today by this thing. And government is taking very proactive action in making all their buildings have solar project panels on them, and also the commercial, industrial, everybody. So the market is in on the upswing. For solar projects, which we just mentioned, whether it's utility scale or rooftop, it can be done in two ways today. One is capex, where the owner of the project place actually invests his own money and buys a solar project from a service provider, an EPC contractor, as we call them. And the other is called RESTCO, where the investment comes from the project developer. So the owner of the premises, what he does is he actually buys the electricity, just like he buys from the grid, from the utility grid. He buys from the project developer, who invests the money and runs a solar plant and sells the energy produced. So these are the major ways that solar projects are being done. The solar industry, therefore, has got, one is the electricity producing part, another is the heating part, as we all know. In photovoltaics, we have utility scale, rooftop, and various other applications. I think in the innovation area, Robin will talk about so many applications that solar has. So, and also in heating, you can heat water, you can have preheat of boilers, you can have heat pipes where space heating can be done. So there is this so many gamut of usages that solar has, and therefore it is gradually becoming uh, 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 becoming a process of huge attraction, center of attraction, as it has been rightly said. There are so many areas of interventions that can be done in advisory in all these projects and all these solar applications. We can have advisory, support required. We have project execution skills required. We have products which has to be made, and selling, trading, financing, as well as carbon trading today, which is becoming a very important issue in the near future. So all these are opportunities which are going to come in these slides, in this thing. And also in the product area, as you can see, right from all the components of a solar system, which is the solar module, which is the solar panels, then you need inverters, because solar generates energy in DC, and it has to be converted to AC to be usable. So inverters, and then there is lots of balance of systems, switches and cables and earth and lightning arresters and so many things which goes into it. And then finally comes the electronics, where IoT is becoming gradually very important, where you actually monitor remotely, you run it remotely, you do energy analytics remotely, you can predict, and you can actually schedule your loads, etc., to make maximum and most efficient use. So this is an area gradually gaining a lot of importance with modern IT technology. Solar technology can be enhanced for much easier and better usage, and therefore that is also a huge center of attraction which is coming in. In terms of advisory, we know that I think we can. I think it is.
Okay, Anjan. So
I
yes,
think
it's really heartening.
I
It's
have
okay.
crossed, to the next slide and started explaining. I'm sorry for that, but basically, this I think gives, in a nutshell, the whole importance and the attraction of solar today in today's environment.
Yeah. Yeah, so what I heard from you is it's what the Indian picture is really, really very heartening. The way we are going ahead, and the future really looks like it is going to be solar for all our purpose, which is the best possible solution, being the most renewable, cleanest energy source available.
Right.
Now, Robin, if you can, I think Anjan has already touched upon it, but also would you like to tell us a little bit about the innovations in this area?
Yeah, it's in solar energy. There's a great extent of possibility of innovation. So if you can go back to slide, uh, Dr. Mukherjee. Yeah. So after this slide, okay, the next slide. Yeah. So you see the from the business perspective, as Anjan was saying, there are two types of business. So when I talk about innovations, we talk about also need to talk about business also because if you have to invent something, it's not invention; it's an innovation. So invention comes with the commercial aspect also because you have to whatever you develop has to be sold in market, has to be a buyer there. So there are two types of from if you talk about the business perspectives, as I said that there could be one aspect of innovation that the which is of course now doing that people are ready to buy the plants which would generate the electricity. And another business model is there where the people are saying that I need electricity, so I would rather buy the electricity. So these types are, the business models are already on. So one can think about is there the third type of business model available. So there is a self, there could be an opportunity in innovations in business model. So the next slide. So if we are talking about the because innovations, then we need to also understand that what are the industrial opportunities. Like in solar photovoltaic, there is an opportunity. There is an opportunity in solar thermal. If you talk about the business of heating, there is a flat plate, evacuative tube, heat pipe. Those are the products are now currently available. But can you think about a photovoltaic when you talk about the photovoltaic? We have a solar panel which is currently probably having efficiency of say 23% to 24%. So means that most of the solar energy or solar energy we are not able to convert. Okay, still about 75% energy we are not able to convert. So is there any possibility or innovations ability or one can think in a different way so that we can convert those energy. So there is a product level innovations, which is the solar PV level. Then these transformations like the current inverter, which is extremely complex technology. Okay, and in India we do not have a reliable, very indigenous inverter currently. Though one or two companies are still trying very hard, but can we have a product which is a which is we call an inverter, which is the DC to AC power conversion happens. So there is an opportunity. Then in opportunities in remote monitoring, there is an opportunity in dashboard, there is an opportunities in other BUS balance of systems. In solar thermal, of course, is a big opportunities because in India we have not witnessed much of the application of solar thermal projects because it's a very complex because it's a more of a thermal power plant. Okay, but currently, the technologies which have the parabola trap, the concentrating solar thermal, solar power, all those things are there. But can we have something new? So those are the possibilities. Those are the possibilities of innovations. So next slide. So as I said that you can have a sale level in advisory. You can have energy market, energy alert. Lot of MBA guys like those who are coming out from the college. If they are seeing an opportunity in their career as an entrepreneur, they are seeing that the energy market is now getting developed. So one thing I can tell you as an example Say suppose India is witnessing a market whereby say suppose everybody is installing a solar power, so everybody will not be a consumer anymore. There will be a generator also. So if I generate, somebody else can purchase it or buy it. So is there any possibility of innovations or something like a dashboard or something like a platform which enable us to buy your market your energy, and also I can buy from you. So it's called merchant power energy. So it's a huge potential. What happens, then the government statutory, government, all those rules and regulations, it becomes very easy. It becomes a marketplace where everybody can buy everything at a right fair price, which I can offer or everybody can offer. So that way, and in the application side, you can have a lot of applications like that. Solar cold storage. Everybody is talking about how to reduce my AC bill. So can we have an innovation to bring solar energy as an application to reduce your electricity bill? Solar AC, then solar dryer. There are n number of applications. You have to think that how do you use, because the moment you have energy, which is now you are attaining a freedom to have an energy independence. Whether that energy independence can give you an opportunity to create applications which was not easily possible, like in farming, like in uh, you know fishing, like in many areas. So one need to identify a problem. What is the problem? And then we need to think that can we solve this problem using solar energy?
Okay, good. So, looking at these innovations, here is a question for Anjan. As you know, the audience for today's event are mainly students, college students, who have their entire career in front of them. So, coming from their perspective, what kind of career opportunities can they see in the solar energy space? If you can enlighten us on that, please.
Yeah, sure. I think, Robin has already indicated very clearly that there are so much of innovation to be done, so much innovation possible. So every innovation is a career opportunity. It's the first thing. So now, in overall, as to be very specific on different parts of the solar energy industry where careers can be built from. First is the areas where you can divide into advisory, where you do consultancy work for solar in technical or management. In it can be right from strategy to marketing to market determination. And then in projects, you can do development and EPC. There are EPC contractors, there are value added products to be put into these projects. And there are, several kinds of, there is the area of financing to be done, how to get the projects developed, how to put them on ground. So a lot of financing careers are there. In products, of course, in supply and manufacturing, there's huge engineering requirements. Right from in projects, you need civil, structural, skills. You need material procurement skills. You need electrical skills, mechanical skills, and then the electronics IoT part that I mentioned earlier, where you need these things, and it all goes to supply and manufacturing. Then, as a final product, the energy. There is today possible for trading of solar energy. You can just sell the energy by developing projects in OPEX mode or in RESCO mode, as we said. Financing, syndicating, these are very, very good prospects where a lot of expertise is still, I think, encouraged and required. Then there is the future career opportunities for the carbon trading, carbon market, the climate market. As you know, the SDG goals, there is ESG governance today. So the first 1,000 companies have already been mandated to bring ESG into their accounting declarations. So so there the climate market, etc., plays a huge role. Then for making companies sustainable under the sustainability banner, there is lots of consultancy assignments possible. This net zero transition, where you work on energy, on air, on water, on waste, and how to get solar to work towards that, towards the net zero. So these are some of the big career opportunities that we can think of. There are a lot of technical opportunities, there are application opportunities, there are management and technology wise opportunities, and then there are the product the what you call the secondary product market, energy, trading with it, and then creating carbon markets, doing carbon trading. All these are associated businesses where careers can be done. So there are two primary ways that you can go into this. These all I was trying to mention, that in advisory you can do technical advisory, where you can make feasibility assessment, then detailed design, and then you can make the project reports, the DPRs which the banks need. Then the detailed design of every aspect, as I was saying, civil, structural, materials, mechanical, electrical, electronics, transformer, switch gear, high voltage, everything comes into the design, and the specific skills, specializations can really be used for careers. And in management side, of course, there are a lot of consultancy assignments that I've talked about, and these are mentioned here in basic headlines. Now, so therefore, there are two ways to go about it. One is as an entrepreneur, and the other is as a job seeker. So, as an entrepreneur, you need idea, you need access to funds, you need a team to work, and you need the ability to implement the idea into a business. So it can be anything from a small component to making a product, to doing the project better, or doing yield assessment and IoT. All these can be entrepreneurial careers built around them. And of course there's a small etc written below that. I think that is the whole thing. That is the passion that you need to be an entrepreneur. That's most important. If you really have the passion, if you want to, achieve something on your own, then all these four things will come to you: idea, fund, team, everything will come to you. As a job seeker, I actually explain quite a bit of it in terms of skill-based, opportunities. You need a little bit of skill. You need some qualifications. Today, already renewable energy, solar energy are subjects in many universities. There are a lot of post PG courses being offered also, and the most important thing is experience, which you need to build upon, which you need to create. And there is no I think alternative to having experience and learning by doing things. So that's there. So this is all in the realms of delivery, project delivery, right from conception to commissioning, then development of the project, the finance, the space, the location, the scheme, and then management of it. How also the post management also has become a big career opportunity today. After solar plants are built, especially the big ones, how do you manage them? How do you make them efficient? How do you maintain them? How do you operate them efficiently? How do you troubleshoot? How do you make it more efficient? How do you modularize it? And so many things are going to happen. So therefore, it's a lots of opportunities. That's all I have to say about career opportunities.
Well, that's looks like so very promising, and I'm sure all the participants here would be would be having a lot of questions in their mind, especially about the career opportunities and how to pursue them. So at this point, maybe I would just like to take a step back and hand over to Anirban so that he can take the questions that the students may have already put in or they might be raising now and get a response for them from the speakers. So over to you,
Okay.
Dr. Mukherjee.
Yeah, thank you. And so I think we can remove this slide right now.
Hmm.
Uh, so I have got few of questions here that I am going to show on screen. So first, the question that I get is, can we generate 15 kilowatt solar power to cater kitchen needs for induction heaters and orphanage home located in some semi-urban area of Kharagpur. Which company you should contact for this purpose? So, can we
Yes,
get
Robin, answer.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. I think the question has come from Joyshri Pal.
just call? Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Ms. Pal or Mrs. Pal. Um, the question you have asked, if I get you correctly, that you want to use solar energy for your kitchen needs, and in your kitchen you have induction heaters, and you have and you are located in Kharagpur and everything. The best thing about solar, solar doesn't discriminate. The sun doesn't discriminate anyone. So that's the best good thing. So it doesn't depend on the Kharagpur. If you are in India, almost everywhere, especially if you are in West Bengal, everywhere you get the same amount of solar energy. I'll not talk about the India, because India is a very vast area, so there are differences of solar energy in different area. But in Kharagpur, you receive good amount of solar energy. To answer your question, yes, 18 kilowatt I think should be more than sufficient to meet your requirement. And there are many companies. I can talk about my company because I cannot talk about others company. Suncraft Energy Private Limited can of course satisfy your requirement, can meet your requirement, and my number is given, my email address also has been given. You can contact us. Okay, so did I answer the
So,
question?
yeah.
Yeah,
So, next question is, what is the current state of solar panel recycling infrastructure?
yeah, yeah. Thank you. I think that also came from Dr. Shorup Kundu. Dr. Kundu, it is a extremely important question. It's a very futuristic question. If you ask about whether is there any infrastructure have been developed to recycle solar power plant, officially there is not much known to us. Okay, so there could be entrepreneurial activities, but not much of the organized way. Nobody has been doing it, not neither in India nor in outside. There is not much of activities from the organized perspective, but maybe one or two entrepreneurial journeys are started. Okay, but it's a big opportunity. We are thinking that what happens, after 25 years, all those waste, because those time that after that time it becomes a waste. So what will happen those waste? So it's a huge opportunity also for the budding entrepreneurs, or any person who can think about what will be the future uses of the solar panels after 25 years.
So, I think I got same kind of question from another person, and that is, I think, the same answer. How can we resource or recycle the silicon panel after 25 years? So, it is already discussed. And then,
Yeah, so if I can add on that,
yeah,
that
yeah, please.
this is a little compounding nature of job. That's why I think scale and process and methodology has still to really be developed, because from a solar panel you just don't get only silicon. You get copper, you get silver, you get aluminum, you get glass, and you get so many components. Segregating them and getting them back to use is a little bit of a compounded process. So this process, a lot of people today globally are trying to develop, and it has started in a small way. It is a very good future opportunity, I think.
Yeah, so from Dr. Kundu, we got another question, that is, what role do government policies and incentives play in solar waste management? I'm very concerned about solar waste management. A silicon panel have 25 years of life, and recycling is a big challenge. So, is there
Yeah,
any role and
yeah,
policies?
Dr. Kundu, you are rightly saying that you have the answer itself in your question. Also, it's a big challenge, and since it's a big challenge, there will be the big opportunities also. We think that way, because as the moment it is a big challenge, there will be a big opportunities for everyone. Okay, and we are waiting for these. What will be the government role in solar waste management policy? There is not much policies as far as I am concerned, and I have not got an access to those kind of policies so far. But we are waiting that there will be policies on the solar waste management.
So, is there any disadvantage of solar power? So that is the question.
Good question.
Yeah, good question. So one of the disadvantages, of course, I would say not the disadvantage, but it's the inherent challenge, because there is no sun for 12 hours in a day at least. Okay, so whatever energy you get from the sun, you have to utilize that energy from the 12 hours to 24 hours. So you need storage. So if you really want to depend only on the solar energy, then you need to have storage. So storage is a big challenge, because that's a very big challenge to have the storage. Currently, with our current technologies, also we have it's add to your cost. It also add to your location, space. It add to your management. It add to your everything. So it's also a waste management problem, because if you have battery, it's add to your waste also. So this is the big challenge, and probably the next big challenge will be from the consumer point of view. That is still, even though you need energy, you don't need power plant. So there could be a business policy. As I said, that the merchant business starts coming, then everybody do not have to put a solar power plant and bring the money from their pocket. But currently, that options are not available with us. So till that time, the still you need to fund this project, upfront. So when you want to put the power plant, you need to have the consolidated money, and which you will be getting the benefit of 25 years. So understand that 25 years cost you have to put in a simultaneously in an upfront way. So that is of course a challenge.
So we are getting a lot of other questions, but due to time constraint, we may not be able to take all the questions. But few of them are on screen, so I am going through it speedily. So, how can we calculate total resistance from evacuated solar collector?
Shall I answer? Kamul
Go ahead.
Jyoti Talukdar. Okay. So Kamul Jyoti, when you are asking about the resistance, and we are talking about the solar evacuated collector, so I believe that you are asking about the thermal resistance, right? Because solar evacuated collector is a thermal business thing. It produces heat. Okay, so if you are asking about the thermal resistance, then of course you need to understand the measurement. What is the length of the thing? Is a mathematical. What is the and the only medium is the air. So that is the air. How air is resisting you to getting the heat from the solar evacuated thing. But if you are talking about how do we calculate the solar energy resistance in a PV cell, solar energy PV cell, that's a complete different answer would be. So I really did not understand your question very much, because it's a two things. One is the evacuated tube, another is the resistance.
No, as a
So,
layman, you can say that every solar collector thermal device will have a thermal resistance, and the thermal resistance will go down as more solar radiation intensity increases, and that is how the heat is getting accumulated and transferred, collected.
and if our user has other questions which if they want to know in depth, then you can Kamaleti Talukdar, you may
Yes,
contact with us. We have our contact in our website. So from there you can mail us, and I will forward the questions to our experts. They will definitely answer your question if you need any further clarification. So
sure.
uh, another question is, what is cheaper material used to be replaced with silicon? I think he is asking for if there is any replacement of silicon
For
with any
silicon.
cheaper material. Yeah.
See, in lab level, people are working on the material called, which is amorphous thing, also the organic thing. I do not know whether those will be cheaper at the initial stage. Okay, because this question when you ask that whether the cheaper material, I understand that you are talking about the only economic value. And economic value doesn't depend on only on the material cost. It depends also on the volume. If the material which will be invented today, or maybe we are getting much benefit in terms of generation of solar energy, it can be used in a volume way, then the price can reduce. But in current time, we are not able to tell you that whether this will happen. Okay, currently the silicon is the best solution in terms of cheap material. Other than that, we have to wait. We have to wait and see.
So another
Yes,
suggestion,
perovskite.
yeah, that is a
Yes,
suggestion from
perovskite.
Mr. Okun.
Perovskite is a material which is being used today, and lot of research has happened on perovskite solar, both organic as well as otherwise. But as Robin explained, that cheaper is not only in terms of price. The efficiency levels are still not, anywhere
And the
near
volume.
silicon cells. So therefore, now that 43% of sun rays is allowed by silicon as a semiconductor to be converted, and out of that there's an efficiency factor, a performance ratio factor, which actually brings down the actual efficiency to 20% odd. Even with a cell efficiency of 23, 24, 25%, which has been reached, the actual panel efficiency comes to 20, 21%. So with that kind of struggle with increasing the efficiency, a material with lower efficiency will not be commercially looked at very, very strongly. So that is but definitely it's going on improving, and perovskite may become an alternative someday.
Yeah, just to add to that, just make no mistake, the price is never a function of your production cost. Okay, so that's an economic thing, but I still like to say, to answer it, that whether this will be cheaper or not, it will depend on the how the market response to that demand. It's a demand and supply. It will drive the price down or up. Okay. Ultimately, it's an economic affair, not the technological affair. But technology definitely plays a role to determine that price.
Okay, so this is the last question. Is it possible to make a solar powered plant? I think she is trying to say. So,
Suguna,
a com-
yeah.
uh,
Suguna, we should try. Answer is
I think one
solar
has
is a
been
source
made
of energy.
somewhere. Not
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Solar is a source
Mm.
of energy only. Make no mistake that it is a different kind of power. Nothing is. It's just a source of power. So if the turbine or the electric generator can run the plane, why not solar? Solar already it has been piloted, but we are waiting. Think you have, since you have thought. I understand that your vision is also big. You have thought big, so your vision is also big. That's a very good thing. So why don't you try?
so thank
See,
you.
already,
And
already
yes,
for planes, for satellites, solar has been being used before even we did the solar revolution in the world. Satellites were using from 70s, 80s solar cells, because you need low weight, energy to be there, and high efficiency too. So for that, they have multi-junction cells where they use, germanium phosphide and germanium arsenide, and then little silicon. They make layers, multi-junction, and that is how the efficiency goes to 30, 40%. But it has its problems of the heat generated. How do you dissipate the heat? And therefore it's not becoming so much in use. But those kinds of cells can be used in aeroplanes, and I think globally people including Airbus are trying to do those things right now.
so thank you. And due to time constraint, we are not being able to take more questions. So we have to stop this Q&A here. And for our viewers, I am putting my email ID here so that you can take a note. And if you have any further question, please send to me, and I'll forward to our experts. And from there, you will definitely get your answer. So this is my email ID, and I'm very much excited to having such a good question answer session, and the exchange of ideas, and it's really really appreciable. And right now, I think this is the time for Mr. Roy to wear a different hat, and to introduce our partner, Wheels Global Foundation, and their activities, to brief about their activities, how they're functioning. So, Mr. Roy, please, I'm giving it to you.
Okay, thank you, Anirban. Well, today's program has been organized by the National Digital Library of India in collaboration with Wheels Global Foundation. Wheels Global Foundation is actually an initiative by IIT alumni all across all the IITs. Actually, whole thing started from our ex-president Abdul Kalam, when he said in 2006 in a conference that you IIT alumni, you are all technologists. So why don't you do something to solve the big problems of the world? And that is when some IIT alumni, they came together and formed this organization called Wheels. Wheels stands for there are six spokes in it: water, health, education, energy, livelihood, and sustainability. It was incorporated first in US as a non-profit organization, and now it's in India as a Section 12A entity in Pune in 2017. Our objective is technology enabled philanthropy. So, what we do is we implement technology solutions which may have been developed in an IIT or by an IITian, and we take it and implement it in areas to improve the quality of life of our rural and urban community. All of us serve as volunteers, just a way of giving back to the society. So anybody here is, if anybody is interested, you are most welcome to join us for any activity that you would like to participate in on behalf of Wheels Global. Thank you.
Excellent.
So, right now, I am taking the opportunity to give the vote of thanks. So, before ending the session, I'm again sharing my email ID. Someone was asking for that. This is my email ID. From here, you can send your question. If you have any further queries, I will forward to our experts, and you will definitely get your answer. And right now, this is the time for the vote of thanks. I'm really grateful to Mr. Robin Roy and Anjan Ghosh for giving their valuable time, and I'm very much thankful to them. I thank you, Ms. Roy, for moderating the session. I would like to extend our thanks to Wheels Global Foundation, our partner organization. I would like to convey my heartfelt thanks to our entire NDLI team to make everything bring to you, to our audience, and to Indian Institution of Technology Kharagpur for hosting such a wonderful project. So thank you, thanks to all of them, and also I want to extend my thanks to Ministry of Education for sponsoring the National Digital Library of India. And with that, I'm signing off. Thank you and bye bye. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Thank
everyone.
you.
you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.